All right, mic check. If you can hear me clearly, please hit that like button so that I'll know. All right, mic check. Yeah, I can say that. So tell me if you're picking me up clearly. If you can hear me clearly, let me know so that we can get on with it. I have a lot to talk about tonight. I don't want to hold you for a long time. As you can see, I'm watching one of my favorite movies. But as I scrolled through the streets of Facebook, I went over to the ghetto of Andrews, known as Andrews SC News. That's the slums. Now, everybody that hangs out there are not of the slums. It's been turned into the slums. And as a matter of fact, at first it was a church page. It was a good, innocent church page where good Christian folk could go and get information. But it has since been turned into a tool to divide and spew pure ignorance and hate. Um, I've been blocked off of there, so you probably can hear that I've had no love now. They're going to tell you, oh, no, 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 he's not been blocked. But again, been putting spam. They say that I've been spamming their site. And so Facebook restricted me. I've since come off of restriction, but again, that's what's going on Andrews SC garbage trash news. Now, again, I'm sitting here, see in the movie in the back right there, watching my favorite movie Heat, and I saw where one of the council members' wives, and that's one of the Andrews Town Council, the town council members, not the city council, the town council members' wives, um, was on there talking about a situation. Okay. Now, again, people can say what they want to say when they want to say it. But my question is just make it make sense. So here's what I found. Let's see if I can go back to that. Where is it? For Councilman Altman now, not Councilman Altman. Y'all make sure y'all vote for Jamie Altman. Where Councilman Ulrich's wife was on Andrews SC News talking about a situation. And this is a council person now. This is one of the councilmen who I pointed out that was not at the town hall. Okay. And his wife is on Andrews SC News, which is this is the kind of garbage that they post. Like, okay, um, it's okay for everybody to have an opinion as long as that opinion jives with the person who's in control of that site at this point right now. Then you can post that kind of stuff. As long as it's disparaging of the town of Andrews, um, then you can post that. But I want you guys to check this out. Uh, why would somebody go through the whole process of creating a organization called Beautification of the Town of Andrews, and as of yet there is not one project that this group has done in the beautification of Andrews? Uh, and the reason why is because they are in search of titles and want to be relevant. You know what I mean? They're not in it for the service, for the information part of it, which by the name Andrews SC News, which suggests is not that. Okay. Um, and again, I don't have anything disparaging to say about a lot of the people over there that share and do things over there. You know what I mean? You're free to do what you want to do. I just want you to be clear as to what it is they're doing. Anytime you don't get both sides of any kind of story or situations and you operating with half the information. And I don't know how you could have a site called Andrews SC News and then all you do is have people get on there and bash the town of Andrews and its employees. Um, and again, the owner of Andrews SC News, which initially it was a church group, and again they had a bunch of stuff, but this person has taken over and trying to monetize it or has monetized it, and um, garbage is what they're selling now. Now, so you had this lady come on and post. It was posted on, and they got their pick people who they allowed to post directly to it. Now, keep in mind that I've been posting a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I got videos with the owner of that page. You know, when everything was cool, when she thought she was controlling somebody, or she thought, you know, whatever she thought. But here you got Miss Jody Ulrich, right? Miss Jody Ulrich says she's in search of someone that works for the town water department. Now, keep in mind, this woman's husband is a councilman, and I got something to put up there just to kind of give you guys an idea of the kind of hate that these people are spewing against the town of Andrews. It makes no sense that the rhyme or reason, no matter what the town of Andrews does, these people they're going to do this. Okay. And here's this long process. I guess she's going to get, I guess she thinks she's going to get the help she needs on Facebook. You may not get the help you need from me, but I'm gonna definitely take this opportunity to point out, you know, how sincerely stupid this is and how just disrespectful to the town. Okay, the town who contributes to your household by paying your husband, who is a town council member who has a horrible attendance record when it comes to. So that's probably why he don't know what's going on up there. He could honestly say that because he's not there. And also your husband who is a firefighter, right? And thank you for your service, but he has not spoken in behalf of the town in which he represents, okay, on the situation with the EMS. And it's probably because they just gave him a raise down there in Georgetown. But again, that's a whole nother situation. So she's in search of someone who works for the town. She's attempted 5 or 6 times, including speaking with someone in person at a town hall meeting in August. Now, here's where the lies come in, right? Here is where the lies and I'm gonna just call it what it is. Here's where the stupidity come in at, okay? And the hate. So hate usually blinds people to uh, it takes away their rational thinking skills. Okay. So here's where the lies come in at. She says she spoke to somebody back in August about the water leak on her property, right? She made calls, she did this, she did that, and all this other stuff like this. Now, or don't you do what he just did to that lady, to your wife tonight now, because she's a grown woman and she decided to jump out here on Facebook. So she sent Facebook messengers to the town. She called again and again. She could speak to see if she could speak to no one. Does anyone work there anymore? I'm not asking for instant fix, but you know what I mean. You such. Um, so all right, let's get away from the stupid stuff right here. All right, I'm gonna show you why it's stupid. Okay, she said August, right? So now I'm gonna play for you guys a video of her husband, this woman who got this stuff about the town of Andrews. And keep in mind now, these people aren't native to Andrews either. They're not at all. Okay, these are people that just kind of came here, came there, right? So she says that she back at the town hall. Now, keep in mind, her husband, who's a town council member, did not show up to this town hall meeting that she's talking about. And she says she's had this problem in her yard since then. Now, this is from the last town council meeting, right? This is her husband's comments. Now, I want some of you who can hear better than I can to tell me where her husband speaks of any of that stuff she was talking about, okay? And this town council meeting recently happened. The town hall meeting happened way before then. So let's see if her husband, okay, says anything about this.
With the highway patrol for a little over 19 years.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Okay, go with Councilman Dalton.
Yes, just a touch base on the law enforcement aspect for just a couple of minutes. Probably most of you know I was with the highway patrol for a little over 19 years. I started out in 1993, and like they're talking about salaries now starting at $40,000. I made $19,236.58 my first year in '93. So it's come a long way for us to pay. But just to tell you how hard it is to get somebody in law enforcement. When I went to my first interview in '93 to join the highway patrol, there was over 2,500 applicants for 25 jobs. And after you go through all the process about all that's left, I mean, you go clinically.
All right, that is the wrong one. That's actually Councilman Altman there.
Councilman Order.
Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. It's always good to see participation in these meetings. I know it's hot. I'm trying to keep it short, but it's not gonna be. Just a couple things I noticed over the last several months that we need to bring up, at least to put out on the table. In my travels around town, I've noticed at least 4 different fire hydrants that are out of service. This may not seem like a big deal, and I know there's enough other issues going on, but especially on Main Street, we all know what the fire was at the furniture store. The only thing that gave us a fighting chance was there was a hydrant 500 feet in each direction, and they were in service. And I know there's at least one on Main Street that is out of service in your downtown, and it's critical. If that one's out of service, now that's doubling the length of the hose we have to lift. That's lengthening the time before we can put water on the fire. And I know there's a lot of issues. You're probably getting tired of talking about water, but it's something we do need to look at. I know there's at least 4. At one point I had 7 on my list. I'll gladly get that to you if they don't already have that. Along the same lines, it's a lot when I'm riding my bike around town. The DPW crews, they're doing yeoman's work with the staff they got. Just my one concern, I had addressed it before, when they're working in the trench, they need, if it's over 4 feet deep, they need to have a trench box in place. I don't want to see this town lose anyone or have a significant injury at the expense of haste to get a job done. We just have to be cognizant of it. I used to be, and I'm educated in the OSHA 501 code. I actually contacted OSHA at Columbia to confirm that I was writing the code correctly, and it is, if it's over 4 feet deep, they need to have a box in place. I know we're in a hurry and they're pressed for time, but we've got to be taking care of that because we don't want to see anybody get injured or worse working in town stuff. Quick question, we hit on business licenses. Just a question for my own clarity. The food trucks are coming to town. I think it's great, adds a lot of variety. Are they all paying a business license? to be in
They're
town?
required to do.
Okay, just want to make sure.
And if they're not, if it's not going one, if somebody mentions, like sometimes they may mention there's a food truck in town. We'll verify with the clerk. If not, then we send an officer to shut it down.
Police staffing, going back to that, and I know it's a challenge, it's very similar on all the emergency services as far as short staffing. What are we doing as far as recruiting for officers? Are we putting ourselves out there and marketing what we do have? I know it's hard for a small town to try to keep pace with the Myrtle Beaches and the Charleston and again, county-based systems. Is there anything else we can do? Housing assistance, and Ms. Hunt hit on a little bit about pay. We all know there's a price tag with it. I see so many people complaining in social media about the lack of police force. Stuff don't come free. We have to look at something to put us heads and shoulders above Charleston, Georgetown City, Myrtle Beach. I know it may not just be dollar figures. I come from a very strong union background. It's about total package. Can we offer them tax deferment? Can we offer them housing assistance? Anything. You know, we talked and said about bonuses. Longevity pay is another thing. It's not necessarily kicking the can down the road, but trying to encourage people to stay here longer, working for, I know we're getting cost of living increases and trying to do that sort of thing correctly, but we have to look at things that are out of the box, and we know that it's not gonna be free. And be aware of that, you know, the money's there, but there might be more creative ways to lure people into the department. Questions about the police force. Do our officers participate in the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we harnessing their recruitment resources to bring people in? Yes. I know the IFF does the same thing. Okay, as long as we're looking at all those avenues. The only other question I do have, Ms. Moretta, the contract for the website, what was the date on that again?
August 12th, 2019.
2019.
60 months.
So that's up now, isn't it?
Officially, but there still needs to be a letter, official letter sent. Yes.
Did we set any operational benchmarks on this contract? Like within 1 year, you'll produce us a working copy or
There were some benchmarks.
did they meet the benchmarks?
Again, as I mentioned in my report, it was a small organization and there were some individuals who passed away from COVID. So that put some constraints on there. That also put some constraints on us as we were addressing things internally, so.
Understood, and every business in the United States ran through similar issues. Was there dialogue about that? You know, with them coming to you saying, hey, we're gonna be delayed on this timeline, or did they just
We
blow
had
past?
conversation from both ways, because sometimes delays were internal on our end,
Mm-hmm,
so.
okay. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So there you had Councilman Robert Orrick, the husband of this person who got on that trash, used to be a decent church page, and decided to spew garbage about the town of Andrews. Now, in that whole 5-minute piece or 4-minute piece that you heard her husband talking about a bunch of stuff that, now keep in mind, this is after me calling him out about his attendance record at council, at town functions, and just important things going on in the town, and the fact that the town is paying him. Okay, not one time did you hear him say anything about the water leak, or that would have been a good time right then to mention it. Or so this whole bit about calling 5 and 6 times is completely ridiculous. Also, what was ridiculous in that piece right there, and I played the first video second. I played the second video. I played the video that I wanted to play second. I played it first by accident. And in that video, Councilman Jamie Altman was talking about his experience as a 19 years experience as a state trooper, and some of the challenges that face these departments when it comes to money, because in that piece you heard Ulrich talking about housing this and housing that. Like, that stuff sounds good, but where does the money come from realistically? And he also mentioned something about a website. I wonder where they are on that, on that whole thing. So, Ms. Ulrich, I'm sure you're gonna watch this.